1,000 years ago, trolls were massacred. Now one wakes up, bigger, angrier, unstoppable. It crushes labs, destroys helicopters, eats screaming tourists, and battles another troll in a mountain-shaking showdown that rips the earth open. This isn't mythology anymore. This is war. Let's rewind the clock. We kick things off inside the memory of a young Nora. She's listening to her dad, Tobias, spin one of his classic tales about trolls. He explains that these aren't just monsters. They are creatures shaped from earth and stone, born deep inside the mountains. He tells her that for a long time, humans and trolls actually lived side by side in rough harmony. But history, or at least the version we know, is rarely kind. Tobias explains that a new world order swept across Europe. In Norway, a young king named Street Olaf arrived with a mission: Christianize the country. And in this new faith, there was zero room for ancient earth beings. With a sword in one hand and a Bible in the other, he purged the land. Just as the story gets too dark, Nora's mom walks in to stop the bedtime trauma. Young Nora, showing her sharp instincts early, asks the big question. Why was Street Olaf so cruel if the trolls were there first? She says if she were there, she would have stepped up. Her mom smiles but then starts coughing. Tobias asks if she's okay, and she lies, saying yes. But we know the truth, she's fighting cancer. She promises Nora she'll take her to the troll wall one day and sings her a lullaby to sleep. It's a sweet, sad start. Flash forward to the present exactly 30 years later. Nora is living that solitary life in her late father's cabin. The place is a hoarder's paradise of books, clippings, and research. Suddenly, someone walks in. Nora goes full survivalist mode and attacks the intruder. But she quickly realizes it's just Andreas. Awkward. Andreas looks around and is surprised to see Nora has been reading books about communicating with trees and animals. She snatches the books back, embarrassed, but admits she's glad to see him. Then Andreas spots another book, this one about the path to St. Olaf's grave. He asks for her help. Nora tries to say she's left that world behind, but Andreas hits her with the classic line, "Just when I thought I was out, they pull me back in." He updates her on the world, new government, new prime minister. Nora doesn't care. She thinks they're all the same. Andreas notices her wall of clippings, proving she's been banned from several places for her investigations. He finally convinces her by saying her father, Tobias, would have appreciated what they found. Nora asks if they found something else. Andreas just smiles. That's a yes. They take a helicopter to the Veorg power plant. They meet Professor Mahler and Wangel, who apologize for how things went down last time. They admit they didn't have the security clearance back then to tell the truth. They drop a history bomb. You know the famous World War II heavy water sabotage at Veorg to stop Hitler's atomic bomb? A cover story. The real mission had nothing to do with heavy water. They take Nora inside to show her the truth. It's a Megatroll, and I mean massive. It's surrounded by labs and scientists. Andreas explains it was found a century ago and named Jotun. Professor Mahler explains the security. They've installed powerful ultraviolet lights around it, bright enough to turn it to stone. A trick inspired by Nora's own actions in Oslo. Enter Professor Marion, the project director. She's scolding Andreas in another language for bringing Nora, but he argues that without progress, the project gets shut down. Marion turns to Nora, admitting that while Nora's actions in Oslo were heroic, she wishes they had kept that troll alive for answers. This is where the science gets weird. The troll isn't dead. It's hibernating. It has a faint pulse. Its DNA shares more traits with a pine tree than a human. Nora reminds them trolls are nature. She quotes her dad, "Made of earth and rock, with bones of ice and a snowy heart." And considering they already have one inside the facility, the possibility of more existing out there is more than plausible. Andreas takes Nora upstairs to meet Siggy, his pregnant partner. They have texts in Latin, Old Norse, Sanskrit, all mentioning trolls. They show her St. Olaf's troll law from the year 1030. It's incomplete, but the message is clear. Trolls must be wiped out. Nora realizes her dad was right all along. In spite of all the massive resources behind the project, the research seems to have hit a dead end. The team is stuck, though. They need someone who can think differently. They need Nora. Overwhelmed, Nora says she needs the bathroom. Classic misdirection. Instead, she sneaks into the restricted area, takes the elevator up, and stands right in front of the Megatroll. She touches its face and sings her mom's lullaby. First, nothing. But as she turns to leave, boom, the monitors spike. The heartbeat shoots up. The troll is waking up. Panic mode engaged. Professor Mahler orders the guard to hit the UV lights. But Marion, get this, steps in. She refuses to destroy the creature now that it's awake. She deliberately spills her coffee all over the control panel, short-circuiting the entire light system. Talk about a calculated accident. With the lights out, the troll breaks its chains. It smashes into the elevator Nora is in, sending it crashing down. Andreas barely manages to pull Nora out in time. Chaos erupts. Professor Wangel? Yeah, he gets crushed by the creature. Meanwhile, Professor Mahler, being incredibly shady, picks up a shard of tool that fell off the troll and pockets it. The troll storms out, tears through the facility, and vanishes into the forest. The team regroups at an airbase with Captain Chris. Marion tries to justify the research, citing medical breakthroughs. Nora shuts her down, arguing that they treated a sentient being with thoughts and emotions like a lab rat. Suddenly, Prime Minister Brinchman arrives. He's furious. He reveals a personal tragedy. His brother died in a helicopter accident involving church bells during a military op. He orders the troll's elimination immediately to avoid past mistakes. Nora is devastated. She sits holding the rock fragment from the previous stone troll. Andreas sits with her, showing his own fragment, and they share a moment about learning from mistakes. Meanwhile, Ops locates the troll in a fog bank. Chris refuses to take Nora on the mission because she's a civilian. Nora chases him down, begging him, saying she owes it to her father. Chris finally relents. They check out the new helicopter, custom-built with a full UV light system. Andreas joins, determined. Even Marion hops on board. Siggy makes Andreas promise to come back safe. Fingers crossed, buddy. Meanwhile, at a ski resort, young people are partying. The ground shakes. The troll bursts onto the scene, ripping the roof off. Instead of running, these geniuses start taking photos. The troll grabs a few and eats them. Nature 1, influencers 0. The helicopters arrive. Nora is horrified to see the troll eating people. This one is different. The soldiers blast it with UV lights. It's working until the troll rips a pole out of the ground and javelins it straight into the other helicopter. The pilot says his final goodbye and crash. Chris is heartbroken. He tries to face the troll down, but his UV system is busted during the battle. The troll, seeing no threat, just turns and walks away. Back at the crash site, the team argues. Marion calls it a monster. Nora insists it was provoked. Nora realizes they need to communicate, not kill. She leads them to the Dover Mountains, to the cave where the first troll appeared. They find a hidden section, an old hunting pit designed to trap the Troll King. It's covered in Christian symbols meant to hurt trolls. Nora uses her dad's tapping pattern. Suddenly, a troll emerges, but it's not the Megatroll. Smaller. Nora realizes this is the Mountain King's son. She names him Bello. She sings the lullaby. Bello calms down. Nora tells Andreas to just feel the connection. He sings and the troll smiles at him. It's a beautiful moment. But then, out on the ice, the Megatroll arrives. Nora fires a flare. As the Megatroll charges, Bello rises from the ice to protect them. They roar at each other. The Megatroll stomps, cracking the ice. Bello sinks into the water. Nora is heartbroken, but Chris drags her to the chopper just in time. Back at base, Nora connects the dots. The Megatroll isn't wandering randomly. It's following a pilgrimage route to Nidaros Cathedral in Trondheim. It wants vengeance against Street Olaf. The team rushes to Trondheim and meets Esther, a historian searching for Olaf's tomb. Nora says she's read Esther's book. Esther smiles and leads them into the cathedral's underground. They find a dead end with murals. Andreas accidentally breaks a piece of the wall. Oops. But Esther realizes the break reveals wounds, painting marks corresponding to where Olaf was stabbed 3 different parts during the Battle of Slistad. Nora spots torch holders. She inserts 3 torches as keys. A secret circular door opens. Inside is a tomb surrounded by water. They open it. Esther insists on respect. Inside is Saint Olaf's skeleton and his sword, perfectly preserved because it was forged in silver. But Nora finds something else. A piece of paper. It's the missing half of the troll law. Andreas sends a pic to Siggy. She digitally combines the pieces. The shocking truth? Olaf didn't want to kill the trolls. He wanted to give them a safe homeland. The church killed him for it. The troll isn't hunting a hero. He's hunting the lie the nation was built on. Word of the troll attack during the festival spreads rapidly across the nation. Social media is flooded with clips of the chaos, along with images of the demolished house, the very same one a troll damaged 3 years prior. Norway's prime minister addresses the press, admitting that Trondheim is essentially a lost city at this point. He promises that every possible effort is being made to evacuate and safeguard the remaining residents. When a reporter asks what his next steps will be now that Trondheim has fallen, he hesitates before saying he'll speak on that later. Meanwhile, the general informs Major Chris that every available resource is being used to get civilians out, and orders him to retreat with his unit. Nora pushes back, insisting they can't abandon the mission, and Chris agrees. Too many people have already sacrificed their lives for them to walk away now. The team then confronts a major problem. What weapon do they have when bullets and explosives don't even scratch the troll? Nora recalls how Olaf once fought and considers using the silver sword, but she quickly realizes the metal isn't what matters. It's the sword's resistance to water. She dips a small blade into holy water and tests it on a fragment she still has from the other troll. It shatters immediately. Holy water, especially when paired with sunlight, weakens trolls. As Trondheim undergoes a mass evacuation, Chris and Marion warn the remaining civilians that a troll is practically around the corner. With very little time, they explain their dangerous plan and galvanize the townspeople to prepare weapons and tanks, filling them with holy water gathered straight from the cathedral. Night falls, and everyone takes their positions, bracing for the final showdown. Esther and Andreas ring the bells with everything they've got. disorienting the creature long enough for the soldiers to launch their explosive attack. The blasts deal noticeable damage, but the troll quickly retaliates. It tears a tree from the ground and hurls it directly at the bell tower. Chris commands the team to trigger the explosives packed with holy water, but they soon realize the effect is far too weak. Then, to everyone's astonishment, the young troll Bello appears and confronts the Megatroll head-on. But he's overwhelmed again, leaving Nora filled with fear and desperation. Plan B, attack the heart. They need to get holy water inside the troll. Andreas and Chris take the helicopter up with the last bomb. The only way to set it off is manually with a grenade. Andreas realizes what has to be done. He calls Siggy. He quotes Star Trek, "The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few." He hangs up. As the Megatroll opens its mouth to roar, Andreas jumps from the helicopter, bomb in hand. He dives straight into the creature's throat. The troll explodes from the inside out, collapses. Andreas is gone. Now his upcoming daughter will be fatherless. He saved them all. Time passes. The cathedral is being rebuilt. We see a peaceful scene at Nora's cabin. Siggy is there with her new baby, named Uhura, a nod to Andreas. Marion is there, smiling. Bello the troll is outside, growling softly, no longer hiding in the dark. But hold on. Post-credits scene. Professor Mahler calls a general. That rock sample he stole? It's growing in a lab. We see a tiny troll in a glass jar. If you enjoyed this recap, smash that like button and stay subscribed. Until the next one, Movie Pals.